Okay, so today we've installed Footwell lights. Now, what can I tell you? It's pretty good. It looks nice, makes your feet look good. The way we've installed it is to make sure so it comes on with your lights and turns off with your lights, and you can switch it on and off as well. Some people do it different. That's up to them. That's not me. But we've done it in a way that it kind of works in, well, it works in exactly the same way as your interior light works. Yeah, it's a decent mod. We're heavily requested. Like I said, I'm going to be doing loads more mods on BMAC car mods. So I'm going to be doing a lot more mods on that channel. And my other channel, I'm going to be doing a whole lot more repairs. I'm going to choose a different VAG this time. But right now, we're doing LED lights in the car, on your feet. You turn your car on. It looks good. So watch the video. Okay, so we're going to just start this modification by removing the interior headliner. Now, do you see how easy that pops off? Just leave it from the front, and then inside you're going to have two Phillips screwdriver heads. Now, that's all pretty easy. You just unloosen them and basically it will loosen out. Now, this is a sunroof model, so you've got to remove this panel first. If you don't have a sunroof, it's just a matter of moving the two side clips, which you can just about see, and then it comes out. But if you've got the sunroof version like this, you just do that and it pops out. It's got the standard two clips at the back. You just leave them undone and free up the headliner interior light I should say, and it'll pop off. Okay, so the next thing now is to strip off this A-post lining. Now the first, like what I do, this is how I do. I always remove the rubber first and then just pull this off. You don't even need anything, you just can pull off. Make sure the clips are not broken and make sure they're still located where they're supposed to be. Okay, so to make it a little bit easier for me, I remove the sun visor, but I just remove one side of it. Because we're going to be feeding some wire through the roof, I remove the sun visor, just give me a little bit more movement and flexibility in the roof lining itself. Now, sun visor generally come off quite easy. You just have to release it and just make it come down a little bit. I let it hang on a wire because I wasn't doing anything else with it, and I was only holding it out for a short time. So now with your wire, you want to stick it through the hole you've got there, because we're going to be taking power from the central light, the central interior light. So now with that little bit of extra movement I've got going there, I've fed it through, and I'm just going to just pull it through as you do. There you go. It's really, really easy. It's basic. This is basic stuff. So you're probably going to need about, I say about 3 meters of wire. 3 meters of wire. It's best to get it in red and black so you can tell positive and negative. So once that's through, just screw back up your sun visor so you don't break it accidentally, and just give you that bit of movement that you're going to need to actually do what you need to do. Now, once you've done that, you can just feed it down the side of the A pillar. Now, just use the same kind of connection holders that are there already. Because they're there already, just use them. And they've got like little holding clips, because what we're going to do, we're going to secure it later. So I'm just showing you the path of where it runs. Like I said, make sure you get red and blue. Something can tell you positive and negative, two different ones. Else you're going to be constantly checking the polarity of the wire, because the LEDs only work in a certain way. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just securing it to the wire that's already there with some cable ties. And here it is underneath the carpet there. Pull it through so it goes over to the driver's side. You can see I'm doing there. And now with your little bit of wire which you intend to connect to, you split it and you just strip it back a little bit with these sort of strippers, these wire strippers. If you ain't got them, I guess you can cut and splice as you would, but I have got them, and they're absolutely fantastic things to have. So just split it so you can get at it. So on this one I've used some daytime running lights because I just thought they were good, and they came in one package. No soldering needed to be done, so it's just a matter of getting the connectors and stripping them as well. Really simple stuff. And actually just making a connection with the wire that you split earlier. Now I'm sticking a hole through the middle of the cable and then putting it through and then plaiting it. Like I said before, make sure you get coloured wire or you'll be constantly checking the polarity. So I've done the same here as well. Put it through the middle, then kind of wrapped it around it. Apparently they make the best connectors. And then just put a little bit of masking, sorry, not masking tape, electrical tape, insulating tape around it just to secure it. See what I'm doing here? Because you don't want it to short out, you don't want anything to happen, so make sure you wrap it up nice and tight. Do the same thing with the other side. Now I always go over the top with this electrical tape because I just don't want to have to come back and work out what's wrong. So I always put more than I have to. Now if you can see, I'm just holding the running light onto the cable itself, just to take off any stress off the joints itself. So we do exactly the same thing on the other side. You can see there. And like I said before, maybe I go a bit over top with the insulating tape, but I like to hold them together so they don't put no stress on the actual joints. Now with your interior running light, you can see that gap right in the middle. There, you can see that gap right in the middle. And on the back there, that's the polarity, that's the positive and negative of the actual bulb holder. Well, you can solder onto that if you feel fancy and you want to, but we're just going to tie our cables in a ghetto style, just a very crude way we're going to connect onto it. But the funny thing about it, it works perfectly well. Okay, so I'm just showing you the back of it again, and we're going to be sticking our cables through the hole that's provided for us. Now we're going to use the bulb terminals to connect onto, because I wanted it to work exactly like the interior light. So when I press my alarm, it comes on. When I press it off, it goes off. I wanted it to function in exactly the same way. So I've connected it directly onto there. Now there's many ways you can do this. There's loads of different types and what you can connect to and what you can't connect to. But for me, this was just simple, basic, straightforward, and did everything I wanted to do. So after you've done messing around, twisting and turning, trying to hold onto the terminals, it should look something like this with the bulb in it. Now, like I said, it's not the most professional outfit, but what I would say is it works absolutely fantastic and does exactly what you want it to do. So it should look something like this, connected to the terminals with the light bulb inside. Okay, so after we've done that, it is just a simple matter of checking it and making sure everything lights up as it's supposed to. So my doors were open, all the lights were functioning. And if you look at the running light here, it was just working in exactly the same way, just functioning as I wanted it to. So once it did that, I was pretty happy, and it was on to just putting everything back together. Like I said, I always like to take pressure off the joints, so I connected my wire to the loom that was already on the car, that was already running through the car. I just used a bit of electrical tape, connected them together, so they're tied up like partners. So this is how it's tied up. You can see my wire coming in, and it's attached to the loom that's already in the car. So there's going to be no direct pressure during driving onto the actual unit itself or the connections itself. So everything should be fine. So taking it off, so putting it back together was just the reverse of putting it in. So just push in and clip whatever needs to be clipped back in. And let's have a little test, make sure everything's still working okay. So now with your daytime running lights, you need to take off the adhesive that comes on the back of it. So it's got like a little bit of double-sided tape. Just find somewhere neat and tidy to put it out of the way, and somewhere where you can tuck the wires away also. Now you could use cable ties, you can use whatever you want to stick it up there, but just try and find somewhere suitable, just not going to hit your feet, and it's going to give you what you want when you open and close your car. Now it's just the same thing on the other side. Make sure the back of the surface is nice and clean. And really and truly, you want to do a bit of pre-planning before you actually install this. You want to actually have somewhere where you know you're going to go for before you actually install it under there. So with the extra wire, once again, just tie it up with a bit of electrical tape, and you want to tuck that under the carpet or cable tie it to some solid part of the car or some part of the surface, which is going to be good. But you really want to just get that tucked away and nice and covert, so you've got a clean install. And that's it really, it's pretty much simple. So this is just the last bit, putting back what you've taken off, putting back all the rubbers. So you shouldn't see much, you know, it's really simple. Okay, so you probably can't even see me, but I know you can hear me. I'm walking down to the car where I've put the Footwell lights on. So as you can see, it's nice and dark. Let's see what's happening. You can see how this works. Okay, I know you can't see the car, but let me show you. There it is. So as you can see, the lights on, and then Footwell lights have lit up. Okay, so let's show you again. I'm just removing everything out of this car at the moment, but just so you can see, there are the Footwell lights there. So from inside the car, that's what they do, that's what they look like. From the other side. See? Footwell lights on. They go off with the lock. Come on. Same over there. I turn it on with the switch. Turn them on. Comes on. Turn it off. Goes off. Comes on. Pretty bright, to be honest. That's how they work. They work off the dome light. You know, so look. That's what they look like. Which I think's brilliant. My car's disgusting, but I'm gonna be cleaning it out. Just an idea of what it looks like. And when I get out of the car, turn the engine off. Come on. Get out of the car. And that's how you do it. If you like the video, please don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe and share with a friend. Thank you for watching.